Hey guys, Khalil Safa here. I want to come out today and make a video explaining why I got into real estate and how I balance my full-time real estate life and my full-time college life and all the other side hustles I do on the side. So to start off, I just wanted to give you a little background. Khalil Safa, born and raised in New York. I was born in Brooklyn, 4 Hamilton Parkway, and then we moved to Staten Island when I was about 2 years old. Been here ever since. So now we have the question, why real estate? Why did I choose real estate as a career? Why did I want to continue forward with real estate? So before I ask that question, we got to look at what I was doing before. I was working at a cardiologist for 2.5 years, believe it or not. Now you may ask me, cardiology, how did you get from scrubs to suits? So if you know anybody that knows me since I was a kid, you would say that Khalil Safa, the realtor, was supposed to become a doctor. I always wanted to become a doctor. I've always wanted to become a physician. I've always had this found interest in the medical field. And not only did I just have this found interest in the medical field, I've always wanted to help people. In the medical field, we see the most amount of people that need help are, sick and, going through stuff that they need medical attention. And I've always thought that was the only way I was going to be able to help people was in the medical field. Little did I realize, as I'll explain a little more into the video, that wasn't the case. So why did I leave the medical field? So I noticed that the lifestyle of the medical field was not the lifestyle that I wanted to lead for myself, and it does not fit in my timeline of my life. I saw what the medical field entails, what type of, stressors there are in there. I feel like every job has different stressors, and every different type of person can deal with those stressors. That's why certain jobs are for some people, certain jobs are for other people. So I just felt that the medical field was not for me in that aspect. And another reason is I don't like to be limited. I like for there to be unlimited growth, unlimited opportunity, unlimited for me to do anything that I would like to do. And doing something like that would have to entail working in the medical field. You always have to be working for a hospital, and if you have your own practice, there's always going to be somebody right above you that's always gonna, there's a limit on how much the insurance is. There's always gonna be a limit in the medical field. And I don't want to be, working for anybody or anything of that sort, because the amount of time and effort that you're going to be putting into somebody's company, you're not going to be getting what you're working and what you're working hard for the same amount in return. Let me explain. If you're making $20 an hour, you need to be making the company more than $20 an hour for them to be, hiring you, and for you to make sense for them to be, have you there to be working. That's just the capitalist system we work in. So if you go home by the end of the day and you feel like you're ripped off, well, it's probably because you are. So that's just something that I've thought between myself, and something that I don't want for my future. So I thought, okay, if it's not the medical field, then what is it going to be then? So I thought, okay, I love to talk. Anybody that knows me, I will talk their ears off for hours. So I love to talk. I'm very business oriented. I'm very good with people and talking with people and interacting with people. So I was like, real estate. So I applied to take my real estate exam. And be honest, I failed the first time. It happens. You only learn from your failures. And I passed the second time. See, I told you I learned. But also, when I chose real estate, I needed to get my main motivation out of real estate, which was helping people. How can I help people in the world of real estate? There's honestly an unlimited amount of ways you can help people in real estate, whether that's finding their dream home or somebody that has been unfortunate, enough due to life and everything, where they haven't been able to own their home, and they don't have that much of a budget, but you're able to go above and beyond, find those loopholes for them, help them out with finding that right home for them. There's a special satisfaction with doing stuff like that. And there's unlimited amount of ways else, to help people. So I joined real estate, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. Real estate is a very difficult field to be in. It's not all just opening doors, here, look at the house. There's so much more that goes into it, and it's a lot, and sorry. And once you get into this field, from the outside, it looks a lot easier than what it actually is. And that's something I thought before, I knew it was going to be a difficult field, but I didn't expect it to be this difficult. Which I don't personally mind, because the way I've been raised and the way I've always looked at life is the difficult things in life and the things that have so much harder circumstances to it, always at the end, there's such a greater reward. If being successful was so easy, or all these hard things were so easy to accomplish, then it would have no value. If you have a surplus or you have a lot of something, it brings down the value of it. So when something is more difficult and something is more challenging, the reward that you're going to get from the end of it is going to be so much more rewarding for you, for the people around you. So so that's the way I look at it, So it has its pros and cons. So if you want to get into real estate, it's not a bad field at all, but just be prepared that it is going to be a very difficult journey for you. Now, I'm also a student. Like I said before, I was on the pre-med track for about a year and a half to 2 years. So I didn't really get too deep into it. But I am now currently a marketing student on Staten Island. I go to school full-time, take 20 credits a semester. So you may ask me, how do you work full-time and how do you go to school full-time? And keep in mind, I also am a certified soccer referee. I referee also on the weekends, or during the week if there's any games that need to be covered. I've loved the game of soccer ever since I was a kid, and about 3-4 years ago, I got hurt where I really couldn't continue playing at the level I was playing. So the best next option was become a referee. Believe it or not, when I was a player, I was the loudest player on the field, always the person getting into the face of the referee, and then look at me now, I'm a referee. So I enjoy it, I get to mentor kids, I like to help the kids as well, So it's a good field for me, and a good field for me to learn, self-control, how to control my emotions and how to deal with people when they can be very upset. So the way I learned how to balance everything is by making a schedule and planning everything out in advance. So when I made my school schedule, I planned it out where I would be able to do my cold calling and my phone calls in the morning. I would be able to catch up on emails during, the afternoon time and make these videos for you guys. And then during the afternoon time, during my lunchtime, I would be in school. And then at nighttime, I'd be at school. So I managed to schedule out my days beforehand in order for me to balance that. But there's also sacrifices. I really don't have that social life that I would like to, that college life of, always being on campus, hanging out with friends. I get to hang out with my friends every once in a while, but is it the amount I would like to? Not really, but these are sacrifices I have to make for my future that I want to take. So there's just so much that goes into it, and it's not easy. Don't get me wrong, it's not easy at all. But for you to get the good things, you need to go through the hard things. And I wanted to make this video for people to not look at me as just a real estate agent, for them to look at me as a human that also goes through things as well. And a human that has goals and aspirations that they want to accomplish, but not just for themselves, but to help his family, his parents, his sisters, his grandparents, his aunts and uncles now, but also make a name for himself so the day when he has a wife and kids, he's going to be able to support them as well. So I wanted to show you guys this side of me that, usually the side of the camera or the side of me being with clients, they don't see on a daily basis. And I also wanted to make this video for people who are my age. As a real estate agent that is very, very young, it is very difficult for people to come and trust you. Everybody wants somebody with experience, but you gotta sell yourself, not sell yourself in a way that people normally hear, but sell yourself in a way to convince people that you're the right person for the job. To speak with confidence, to be there for them, to show that you know what you're doing. So that's something that many people my age have difficulty with. So I want you guys to use motivation, me, as motivation for you to go and accomplish those goals that you think that people aren't going to trust you for, or you think you're afraid of what people are going to think of you. I want you to use me as motivation to go and do what you want to do in life. Don't care what anybody thinks of you. Don't care what X and Y, and no, you do what you want to do. And for maybe even the older people that want to start, but they're just afraid to take that next step. It's very important just to do it. Like Nike says, just do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to fail? It's okay. All the millionaires and all the successful people that you see nowadays, do you understand how much times they failed until they got to the right part of life and got to where they got to in life? An outrageous amount of times. So in order for you to be successful, you need to fail and you need to fail a lot. So just don't be afraid to take that next step and, just do it. So I hope you guys are able to use me as motivation to go and accomplish your goals and dreams as well. And if you guys ever just need to talk or advice or just anything in general, please feel free to reach out to me, DM me, send me an email. Anytime of the day, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Please subscribe for more videos, stay on top of everything as well. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day, guys.